Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different. I don't think I've ever done a video like this before, but I have been going through my makeup drawers lately and discovering makeup products and been like, oh my god, I used to love that and why don't I use it anymore? And the reason I've discovered the pattern that I discovered with them is because I have actually found a product that works a little bit better for me or something I enjoy a little bit more. So I'm just going to talk about a couple of products here that used to be holy grails, like amazing, out of this world products for me. I couldn't live without them, and now they've actually been replaced with something else, and I just thought this might be a good concept for a video. Just when I was cleaning out the drawers, I was like, wow, I'm noticing a pattern here. There's a lot of makeup products I used to love and I don't love anymore. Why? So I'm going to first off start with my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Light. I loved this and still kind of do love this, guys. But I would not go anywhere without this because it was the only powder I could ever use to set underneath my eyes and my lid to stop my concealer creasing and brighten at the same time. And it's a great like brightening powder and I absolutely adore it because it's a mineralized formula. It's really finely milled. It means it's not like caking up the under eye and it's just making your under eye look light and bright at the same time. So I was obsessed with this. I've used it for years, still do quite like it, but I have found a product that's replaced it and that's why I haven't kind of used this as often, and it is the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. Now I know that this has been discontinued, guys, so I am pretty sad and I probably have to go back to this. For the last year, I think the Banana Brighten Up Powder has been my go-to for under eye setting. Maybe it's been less than a year. Has this only been in my life for like 6 months? It is the exact same formula, in my opinion, as the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. It does the same job. It's still so finely milled. Like, it is so fine. Like, it's so lightweight, but it does the exact same thing. It brightens up my under eye and I find it easy to set my eyeshadow base. I love it and I really highly recommend this if you can find it anywhere before it's discontinued, because I'm so devastated. This is my last one and I'm gonna have to find somewhere online that sells it because I'm just so upset. I know Ulta sells it in the US, but I have to use a shipping service and stuff to get it to me, and for just the sake of a €2 powder, it's just not really worth it. So I will find it in some pharmacy in Ireland somewhere. They have it, so if anyone sees it, let me know and I'm gonna purchase it because very sad. This was a holy grail, now it's this, but now I'm gonna have to do something about that situation. The next product I want to talk about, I don't actually have in my possession, but it's the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara. I mean, we all know what it looks like. It was a holy grail ride or die mascara for me for so long. I felt like it was the only mascara I talked about for a solid 3 years here on my channel. I was like, there's nothing as good as it. Why would anybody use anything else? Between that and the Telescopic, I feel like I had like my mascara game to a T. They were the two mascaras that I wore, voluminous on the top and then the Telescopic on the bottom, and with the two of them I felt like everything was amazing. My life was complete. They were the best mascaras ever. They gave my lashes volume and lifted it and just made it look them incredible, even though I don't have any lashes. So since discovering this mascara, I feel like it replaced majority of my mascaras. Their Real from Benefit is also a favorite mascara of mine. I haven't used that in weeks. I haven't used the Catrice Rock Couture mascara. This one has been a ride or die for me, and again, it's been discontinued. I feel like I'm just showing discontinued products on this. I promise I'm not, but sadly this has been discontinued. So again, the Lash Princess from Essence is going to have to be something I purchase a lot of. This mascara is everything, and there's 3 in the range. So there's the purple one, the green one, and the like, I don't know, pinky coral shade. And I picked up the pinky coral shade first and everyone was like, no, that's not the one you get the green one because that's the best one, or the one in the teal packaging, that is the best one. So I picked the teal one up and I was like, no guys, this is the jam, this is it. So I went back and started using this one again. I do like the one in the teal packaging too, but I just feel like this is better. The wand is so amazing on it. Whatever it does, it just lifts my lashes up and gives me tons of volume, and that's what I'm wearing today. And I'm wearing it today on my upper and lower lashes. Obviously I'm wearing falsies as well, but this is what I use every day, most days. I love it. I feel like the formula is perfect. It gives me volume, it lifts my lashes, and it just looks sensational on my lashes. It actually makes me look like I have lashes. So Voluminous and Telescopic are long since gone since discovering this, and most mascaras actually in general since discovering this, but now it's been discontinued. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe they might bring it back out again, but in different packaging. Please, Essence, don't let it go, please. It's so amazing. The next product I want to talk about is Benefit's Hoola. I feel like everybody and their mother use this as their like Holy Grail OG contouring powder, and I used this for years. I hit pan on one. It was my favorite bronzing shade ever. There was nothing that compared to it. It was just a perfect like brown. But after kind of using it and discovering other products, I found that it was actually kind of a little bit muddy underneath my contour. Like as a contour, I found like it was a bit muddy on my skin, and I was like, I need to kind of change it up here. Like I use this like all here, all around the tops of my forehead. It was like my go-to contour bronzing shade, and I just, like I said, I realized that my skin tone is not ideal for this. Like it matches so many people's skin tone amazingly well, but for some reason on me it looks a little bit muddy, and it goes that kind of like weird dirty kind of color on underneath my cheekbones. I don't know what it was about it, so I had to switch it up. And when I discovered this powder, I never went back to Hoola bronzer ever. I think that Hoola bronzer has probably been in my collection about 4 years. I need to actually dump it. Like, that's scary. This is what I was doing in my drawers the other day when I was going through them. I was like, oh my God, you have makeup products in here for forever. And some of them you used to love and now you don't love them anymore. And what it's been replaced with is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. Oh my God, guys. This bronzer is my all-time favorite bronzer. Like, I talk about tons of bronzers on my channel always, but behind the scenes, this is always the one that is my go-to. It's the first thing I put into my makeup bag if I'm traveling, if I'm thinking of a bronzer. I don't think of any other bronzers but this one. This is just a much better shade for me. It's slightly warmer, slightly, but not like overly too warm. So you can probably see it just, I don't know if you can actually see it. That's the Chocolate Soleil and that is the Hoola. They are not too dissimilar in like the deepness of shade, but this one definitely has a little bit of warmth to it that the Hoola bronzer doesn't, and just looks a little bit more ideal on my skin. I don't know if you can see that there. So it's a tiny bit warmer than the Hoola bronzer, and I just find that it's much easier to contour with this and bronze up the face with it, and I really love it. They've since repackaged this. I have it in the old packaging, just if you were wondering, but the product is still the same, and I actually have a backup of it ready to go when I do hit pan on this. But I love it, and it has definitely replaced the Hoola bronzer, and I don't even think about Hoola bronzer anymore because this one is better. The next product I want to talk about that used to be a Holy Grail OG, the best thing since sliced bread. Couldn't think of another foundation that compared to this, and it's the L'Oreal Infallible. Obviously True Match is always going to be there, like it always will. It's never going to be replaced, but the L'Oreal Infallible was my go-to foundation. How many times have I talked about this foundation on my channel? Like a million times. I still love it, I still use it, I still recommend it. It's still amazing, but I don't reach for it and I don't pack it as often as I used to. And that's when I kind of discover, like, if something was a Holy Grail, why is it not now? Like, what am I doing different? Yeah, I'm not bringing it away traveling with me because I have something I prefer, or I'm not like applying it to my face every day because I have something else I prefer. Something's like more of my go-to foundation than this. L'Oreal Infallible, favorite for so long. I use the shade 140. I have the shade actually here 235, and it's not the right shade for me at all. It's in the shade Honey, and it just does not look nice at all. It's actually too light, but it is an amazing foundation if you can get your hands on it. Crazy good quality. I think it is in different packaging in the US. I don't know if this glass bottle with the red lid is available in the US. It might look different, but it is amazing. And it's not the matte one, because there is a matte one in a squeezy tube. It's not that one, it's the glass bottle one, just if you are thinking of picking it up. It is still an amazing foundation. I absolutely adore it. I love it so much, but I just don't reach for it as much anymore, and it's not as much as a Holy Grail product to me because of this foundation that I discovered last year. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. One of the most incredible formulated foundations ever. It's what I'm wearing on my face today. I absolutely adore it. It gives me full coverage without being cakey. It's so amazing, and it's only $6.99, like, or even less. I think it could be like $6 something. It's so affordable, and I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. The only thing I ever hear anybody complaining about it, and I've kind of noticed it myself lately, especially since I'm doing like renovations, I'm noticing that yes, this does kind of have a scent of, like, a mild scent of paint. I don't know why. It doesn't really bother me that much. Like, it's not something, obviously, since I haven't spoken about it before really, but it's not something that I find overpowering, or it's something that lingers. Like, I have it on my face right now and I don't smell paint, if that makes any sense. It's only when I really stick my nose into it and that I can smell it. There is a slight slight paint scent off it, but it really doesn't bother me that much because, like I said, it doesn't linger, and once you apply it to your face you don't even smell it anymore. It is a beautiful foundation. Like I said, like there it is on my skin today. You can be the judge yourselves, but I really love it. It comes in so many different shades. I have the shade here, golden beige, but I don't think that's the one I put on my face. When people ask me what color I am in this, I'm like, have you got a sec? Because I have about 6 shades I need to go through with you. So I wear this shade for the winter time and this shade for the summertime, and I mix these 2 shades when I'm a little bit darker. I have just so many shades that in this foundation that I just couldn't say which one I use, because I use the majority of them that are close enough to my skin tone. Again, this is not another product that I don't use anymore. It's still like a product I really enjoy. I love it, but it's just not a holy grail anymore. It's the Laura Mercier powder. Like, this is probably a shock to the majority of you guys watching this, that I'm mentioning this is not a holy grail anymore. So yes, I do still love the Laura Mercier. It's an amazing powder. It's great. It's fantastic. It's set in the under eye area and your entire face. It makes your skin look flawless. It's beautiful. But I'm not reaching for it as much because I've since discovered Beauty Bakery. Now, Beauty Bakery sent me out this flour powder before. It's like a baking powder. Now, because it's like a yellow shade, it's great at setting underneath the under eye area. That's kind of mostly what I used my Laura Mercier for anyway, was just setting and baking underneath the under eyes, which I'm now using Beauty Bakery's flour powder for. I feel like I reach for this a lot more. I do still love Laura Mercier, but like I said, I'm just reaching for this a lot more, and this would definitely be something I would repurchase quicker at the moment than the Laura Mercier. So if this ran out before this did, I would repurchase this. Does that make sense? I think that's kind of a telltale sign for me about a holy grail product. Like, once it runs out, do I rush out and buy it? If I do rush out and buy it, then yes, it is a holy grail. If not, then it might have been like replaced. And the final product I want to talk about that used to be a holy grail that I don't use at all anymore because I've replaced it with something else is the L'Oreal Nude Magique Blur Cream. Now, this is extremely difficult to get hold of. Only a few pharmacies ever have it. I often find it in Boots majority of the time. If I'm looking for it, that's kind of the only place I will be able to pick it up, or sometimes online. It hasn't been discontinued as far as I know. It's just really hard to get hold of, unless it has been discontinued and they just have old stock. I don't know. But I used to love this. It was my ride or die foundation primer from an affordable brand. I loved it. I loved the way it made my skin look. It like airbrushed out my pores. It just looked sensational on my skin. But because it's a little bit more difficult to purchase, and because I found something else, it's been replaced. So the product it's been replaced with is the L'Oreal Infallible Mattifying Primer. I adore this primer. I'm wearing this primer underneath my foundation today. I wear this the majority of the time, actually. If I'm looking for an affordable go-to primer, this is the one. Even though I love my Soap and Glory primer so much, the One Heck of a Blot, I'm obsessed with it. It ran out recently and I just didn't get around to repurchasing because I have this one on the go and I really enjoy it. It's absolutely amazing on my skin. It's more of a silicone based primer. It definitely replaced the Blur Cream, because when I go to a L'Oreal counter, I'm looking more for this primer than I am for this one. I'm always seeing, you know, is that still in stock? They're still keeping, because I'm often terrified when I fall in love with a product that's going to be discontinued, because sadly that has happened to me before from a few brands, mostly Essence. That's not a dig at Essence, it's just saying how much I love their products and I just wish they didn't discontinue so many of them. Thank you so much, guys, for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, so guys, please let me know your products that you have replaced, or holy grails that you used to just be obsessed with and you needed to buy multiples of them and you always had to have a backup, but now you found something better and it's replaced it. I'd love to know your 2 products. And until next time, I love yous and I will see you very soon. Mwah. Bye!